Bros. Hey, it's me, BC, and of course, you are here on BC Brown Books, where we like to get weird about words in ways that only writers can. We write them, we talk about writing them, and today we're going to do more of that writing stuff. And I have my co writer with me, Sako Tumi, who is going to be joining us right after this. So we're here to do writing sprints today, and I have Sako Tumi with me. She is my co-writer on Project Flambeau, which is coming out here very shortly. Hopefully, in on Halloween weekend is what we're thinking, for a wonderful release of our gothically, horrorly, demonically inspired urban fantasy. And in that fashion today's timers will be brought to us by Laura Nettles, who is an awesome middle grade horror writer. And she put up these fabulously spooky Halloween themed timers in, for the season, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So we're going to use her timers today. Absolutely love it. Sako, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. Are we on YouTube or on Twitch or both?
We're on YouTube today. Just YouTube.
Okay. If you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, and it's not just me talking. We also have stuff that BC says on the matter, and a bunch of other Authortubers as well. You should drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Absolutely. And all of Sako's links are down below, so make sure you check those out. They also include her fabulous ways that you can help her eat for the week links. Speaking of Twitch, you all know I am also available on Twitch. And you can find me there on Tuesdays and Thursdays doing writing sprints at this exact same time. Sometimes I have pop-ups for other shit, just when I'm feeling random and weird, but otherwise my writing is specifically on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sako is there as well, not on Tuesdays and Thursdays with me specifically, but she does have her own channel, Psycho Sako. It is linked down below. You should totally check her out because she does art streams that are over there, and I learn a ton from them every week. She doesn't even talk through it necessarily, although sometimes you do, to be fair.
I try to, but sometimes I get so in the zone that words just.
It's just your art brain is on. It's not the writing creative brain. It's the artist creative brain, the drawing creative brain. So but I learned just watching you do stuff too. And I learned from even your mistakes where you know where you're going, or you think you know where you're going with your project, your particular drawing that you're doing, and then and then I see you erase it and correct it and erase it and correct it. And I'm like, I didn't think, okay, yeah, so if you do the line that way, it totally has a different, or if you do the shading that way, it totally has a different. So I learn a lot.
Yay.
Which is really awesome.
I do one of those streams tonight where I randomly generate a character, and then I design a character design around that randomly generated tune.
Yeah, and it's fun. I try to tune in for your Friday streams. I don't get in there to participate and engage as much as I would like to, because Fridays are usually pretty crazy at the 9 to 5. But I do, I'm able to pop in at least and give you the view, and then I can occasionally do some things. But it's fun to watch because I'm one thing I've always wanted to be able to do as a gamer is to be able to draw my own characters, or just draw my NPCs, especially as a game master, to be able to draw my NPCs and give people a more visual idea of what they look like, especially for people who can't visualize when you describe somebody to them, which I know for a lot of writers is weird to us, that that
There's two kinds of writers, though, right? There's
that's
the
true.
writers that can visualize, and basically they have the movie playing, we just write down what happens. And then there are those who have to actually logic their way
Mm-hmm.
through the story because they can't picture,
Yeah,
like, visually what's happening.
exactly. And for the longest time, probably actually until I joined the Authortube community last year, early last year, I never realized that there were writers
Me
that
too.
that didn't have the mini movie. I knew there were people out there because my partner is one that can't does not have a visual image in their head. They think the words.
They think the words.
Yeah,
They
which
think the logic
they think the
of, like,
logic
here's
of
the
it.
situation,
Mm-hmm.
and like, yeah.
Step one is this. Step two is this, or they reverse engineer, which is what my partner does. My partner ends with usually the solution every time, and then
And
logics it
then logics
backwards.
it backwards.
Yeah. Um, or they will start with the problem and they'll be like, this is what I need to be done and here is my problem. So how do I make especially my partner, they're like, how do I make my solution actually line up with my problem that I have? It's to me, it's the way my partner's brain works is masterful because they're geniuses sometimes with the solutions they come up with. But yeah, so I didn't know that. So it expanded my knowledge of writers in
Hmm.
general. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, so I want to say hey to a few folks. We've got Christina.
Hi,
Heyo, good to
Christina.
see you. Debbie is going to take the little mini humans to school real quick, and they'll be right back. Christina's working on a quick pickup of the house and then seeing how they can expand their character, if at all, at this point, for Mage. That is Sako's upcoming game because you just finished up. What world were you in that you just finished up?
Vampire the
Vampire.
Masquerade, The Great When. It just wrapped
Ooh,
up.
yeah. So now you have your upcoming Mage the Ascension game, and
As
I'm
luck would have it, is the name of the chronicle.
is yeah, and I'm like it's and I love it because it lines up nicely with Flambeau and its release. And I was like, oh, she's starting a mage game, right? As we have a predominant mage council in our book.
And there's a mage council in the system, too.
Yeah. I was like, that works beautifully from a marketing angle, and we didn't mean to do it.
We didn't mean to do it. Yeah.
So Christina is wishing Debbie a safe drive.
Yeah.
Morgan Lee is in the house. Hey,
Hi,
weirdo.
Morgan.
You know, I.
I just helped Morgan with their cover
Oh, yeah, you
because
were doing that. I forgot.
because for some reason um the hardback version of KDP, they just released it, right?
Yeah.
And they take like a full inch and a half for bleed.
Yeah.
So
So
I had to like kind of like scrunch it down so that she could upload it just so she could get a proof.
yeah, so I heard that from a few people. So for hardbacks, I mean, I don't come out with hardbacks. I create a hardback and have created a hardback for myself for
Hmm.
each book just to have it because I don't even care to read hardbacks most of the time, which is why I don't come out with them as an author.
Hmm.
But I do
The
I like
collection,
they look beautiful. They do.
yeah.
They're gorgeous. They're usually pretty uniformed as far as size goes, and they just look gorgeous, on the shelf. And so I've always created myself one. I've used Ingham Spark to do that
Mm.
every time. It's very easy to use as far as like uploading it and doing a cover art and stuff like that. And then I saw, oh, well, KDP has decided they're finally going to roll out hardback. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I looked into it. I was like, all right, I might use that in the future because I'm pretty much just on KDP most of the time. If its quality is decent, I might use that going forward rather than having to muck about two different services.
Yeah, I haven't heard about quality yet. People are still struggling with the template.
Yeah, that was the big thing was that I keep hearing everyone is struggling with the template. So, but yeah, still waiting to see what the quality is like overall. So we have a Moon Bunny creative, also known as my lovely friend Sage,
Lurky
is
turkey.
here. Yeah, Lurky Turkey. I like Lurky Turkey, and I'm perfectly fine with Lurky Turkey. Or Turkey Lurky, whichever.
Yeah.
I like the aesthetic of hardbacks, but I don't read them. To me, they have never been practical for carrying around. Of course, now when it comes to like carrying around, I don't carry around really my paperbacks much anymore, unless I'm in kind of a tactile mood, for lack of a better term. Because every so often, I I'm just in a mood where I want to be able to, and this is going to make a lot of people cringe, so I'm letting you know now. I want to write in the margins of my book. I want to highlight things. I want to make notes. Sometimes they're just random thoughts. Sometimes it's what I'm inspired by on that particular page. Sometimes it's a very ADHD thing, and I tell people honestly that if they ever want to find a true journal for me, like a diary, then they
And
won't
all your comments on the book and
exactly.
everything
And
like
sometimes
that.
about life. Sometimes it's just like a life comment that I have. Like, this reminds me of the time I blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, 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 or,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And so, though, they'll pick up pretty much any book that's on my bookshelf. They can pick up and find basically my life journal, just not chronological, because sometimes I reread something and will find something new. So it's just not nothing's in there chronologically. So like if anybody unearths BC Brown, the author, at any point, and they're looking for the diaries of BC Brown later on in life, they're gonna be literary people that are gonna be like, she was either fucking insane or we just can't make heads or tails of the chronological order of some of this shit. So that's what I told my mom. I said, look, if anything should ever happen to me and you want to look for a diary or something, just don't get rid of the books that are in my home. They're
Yeah.
in my home. I kept them for a reason. If I've given them away, they probably don't have too many interesting comments in the margins. They might have some comments like, this was done well, or this was handled well by this author, or good transition, or that it usually is just the mechanics of stuff. It's not like my life thoughts and my grocery list and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, Christina says, now I'm singing Adam Sandler's Lunch Lady Land. Okay. Okay. For the turkey lurkey, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think, weirdos, we should probably get to our first sprint of the day just so we can get some stuff done. Sako, what are you going to be working on today?
I am somewhere between continuing to work on the series Bible and working on the outline for book 3 of my Anchor series. Because you know my horror story about how I lost everything,
Oh,
right?
yes. But you might want to give it like a brief snapshot
Okay.
for folks.
So I have a 6-book series that I have been writing since like 2009. And I had taken everything and parsed it out into separate books because it started out as one document and just got too big for it. So I was like, all right, 6 books. And how do I even put this? I put it in Scrivener, which unfortunately saved locally. And then I backed it up on my portable hard drive, and both died at the same time.
My heart. My little
So
red
everything
heart.
that I did, my 10K days, all of that stuff, everything like that, it's like 85,000 words or something like that, total. Gone. Just gone. Everything that I had written in 2020, just gone. So even in April of 2021, Like I'd written 25,000 words towards book 1 and it's gone.
Oh.
But I found my series Bible.
Yes.
Which has all my outlines in it.
Oh, perfect. So sometimes being analog is good.
Sometimes being analog is excellent.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. But
So,
yes, Google Docs forever.
yeah, if, you know, as much as I love Google Docs, because I do everything through Google Docs. I mean, I do use World Anvil sometimes. I have Scrivener. I used it for a while, and then kind of just fell out of using it. I think the reason I did was because I was writing so much on the go. And so I was having to use Google Docs all the time because I could write offline and then it would upload magically as soon as I had Wi-Fi.
Or you could just yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I kind of just fell out of using Scrivener. I use World Anvil. I used it for my gaming and stuff like that and building and designing. So I will use it, but I work first in Google Docs and then put it in World Anvil to be able to use some of the other services that World Anvil has, like the map generators and things like that. Plus, it has actually been pretty decent for if you want to make it public in World Anvil, you can, and people can come in and make comments, and it can get you some good exposure for people who are interested in fictionalized settings. They want
and building something of their own.
And world creating, world building, stuff like that. But I put the comment up on the screen. Portable, I have portable external hard drives. I take them with me. I have them. I love them. But I do really highly recommend kind of having your own home cloud type service if you can do something like that, or having a backup hard drive system like a NAS. A NAS is basically where you take a bunch of external hard drives of good size, bundle them all together, and then have a way, once a week to be able, or twice a week, whatever. Mine runs every night, basically, where it backs up everything on my PC or on my Mac, but on the desktop computer and on the laptop and even on my phone. It backs it all up and it's all synced together, and I have a file there, and it just keeps me sane because I have lost so much work over the years from laptops dying and corrupted hard drives and external hard drives that got dropped in some water or just chewed up by when we got Callie, our German Shepherd mix. She was kind of still a puppy. She was like 18 months old. And for a German Shepherd, that's still a pup. Then she chewed everything. She chewed up 3 external hard drives overnight one night. Just pulled them down off my desk and ate them. And by chewing them up, I mean she ate them like a goat. There was bits and pieces of casing and internal stuff left, and that was it. Welcome back, Debbie! But I was so heartbroken. And some of that was my early work as a kid, where I had transcribed the analog stuff I did as a kid, and had transcribed it and had digital copies for myself. And I was like, I lost all of that, cool writing that I had as a kid, and I could see how I have grown. But yeah. So I just really recommend having some type of backup as a writer. Just a backup.
A backup on the cloud.
On a cloud, somewhere, somehow. And
somewhere safe.
Somewhere safe. And then, like Sako did, there is nothing wrong with having even if it's messy as crap and it's not organized and you're probably not going to use it, but, once a month or something, go in and just whatever you worked on for that month, not maybe the writing itself, but at least outlines and Bible type stuff, to go in and definitely have an analog something or other, because you can lose the analog in a fire, you can lose the digital in a fire even, but if you have a cloud, you're probably safe. So backups on backups on backups. Chandra is here lurking and working. That's okay. You can lurk and work. It's a good thing. Just lurk that turkey. Work that turkey. Okay. Anyway. So I am going to go ahead and get our timer up. I'm just going to put 25 minutes on because those are the timers that Laura has done.
Yay.
So we're going to go ahead and do 25 minutes. I know it's kind of a Lisa thing and I don't want to steal it from her, but I like the little pep talks right before every sprint that Lisa does on her channel. And they're great. So I am going to give a pep talk. So everybody do their stretches right now and make sure you're all loosened up and get your document open and your caffeine at hand and your creative face on. It looks something like that. At least that's my creative face. And let's get some working done for the next 25 minutes. Now, I don't care what kind of work you do. I don't care what you consider being productive. If you got to get life shit out of the way, then you get life shit out of the way. But we got some words to write, and some of us gonna write those. So let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Write it, y'all. All right, y'all. How'd you do? The thunder scared the crap out of me. At the end, I completely forgot that it had sound at the end and was like, it came on and I was like, what the hell? What did a cat destroy something? What got knocked over? It was just, well, yeah. Yeah. You're muted, love. Okay.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I was just like, holy shit. Yeah, it made me jump. Which is saying something since I only have one of my ears in today. Okay. So, how'd you do?
I worked a little bit on the Mage Chronicle because one of my players had questions about how to flesh out their character, and
Oh,
I gave them a whole bunch of questions that they should ask themselves, and certain parts that they can skip over because they're not going to be mages yet. That's going to happen in session 0.
ooh,
So they're
nice.
starting as mortals, as like normal people, and they, people that should have, like, really fleshed out personalities and
Lives
backgrounds
and yeah,
and lives. Yeah, exactly. So that's where we're at.
cool. I love campaigns. So for those of you in the chat and watching that are not gamers, that don't do role play games, tabletop role playing games and stuff like that, what Sako's talking about in session 0 is what's often considered like the meet and greet between your
The
players.
prelude.
Yeah, it's like the prelude to the game where oftentimes your gamers are kind of meeting for the first time. And you're kind of seeing how the group dynamics work and what people's personalities are like and stuff like that. But also, they are introducing their characters to each other, and those characters are meeting often for the first time, figuring out their personalities, like how the character wants to play, how the player wants to play the character, etc. So it can be a rocky, really rough.
Session 0 is basically, I want them to have a background, and so we're just going to role play through it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's like taking little chunks of their lives and like that they highlighted in their backstory as being important, and been like, let's have a little micro role playing session about what that was like, and you can figure out your personality and stuff like that. Plus, it
Right.
also lets you get kind of your yips and your giggles out in advance a little bit, and you can learn each other's humor, and like you can learn your game master's humor, stuff like that. What your game master highlights and values in session 0 is kind of shows you what they'll highlight and value, and then as a player you get to pivot a little bit to align yourself with your game master, and your game master gets to pivot and align themselves with you. Session zeros are always my favorite, and I do 2 part. I usually do what I call session 0.1 and 0.2,
Oh, yeah.
and have 2 of them depending on the size of the group.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, just depending on the size of the group. So I worked on. I am working on something for a friend today who is neurodivergent and has difficulty communicating in very professional settings, and often needs kind of their thoughts organized for them in a more neurotypical fashion. And while I am not neurotypical, I'm really good at organizing thoughts in writing. So they often do like a stream of conscious writing and will send it to me to kind of help them get their thoughts in order so that it makes sense for neurotypicals to understand their thoughts basically, and how they're feeling, kind of a thing. So I'm working on that this morning. They sent over 14 handwritten pages.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And so, I read through all of that yesterday and made a few brief notes on it, on
Hmm.
how I, like distilling it down into things, some things I might have to ask them and clarify with them. And I'm working on getting that written up today. So I actually did do some writing. mostly in bullet points because I wanted to be able to chunk it out for them and make it very easy, and then also add some definitions that people they're reading this to, because it's a prepared statement, that people they're reading this to they'll be able to answer them with more cohesively and coherently than they would have before. So I did get quite a few words, and I got 448 words worth of bullet points, which is a lot, especially when I'm bullet pointing. So we had a few people pop in. We had Tanya from Tanya's Writing Realm popped in saying hey to us. I hope you're still here and maybe lurking in the background or, hanging out in the chat, but always good to see you. Barrett Lori is here. Hello, my lovely weirdo. Popping in with a 140 words during that sprint on the Flash Fiction Mission. I like that. Flash Fiction Mission. That's fun to say. Flash Fiction Mission. I want the Fiction Mission. The Fiction Mission I feel like should be something. Like maybe that'll go into my... So I'm revamping my newsletter and my website and my blog like all at the same time because, that's what I do to myself. Right as we're pushing to put out a book. So I'm kind of like reskinning all of that and rethinking all of that, and like I'm renaming some sections of like my newsletter and stuff, and I have a feeling Fiction Mission is going to become a thing.
Ooh.
It's now written down. So Debbie inked a panel. Awesome. Christina did lots and very little at the same time, but learning a bunch.
Yay.
That's good. Wordsmith Sarah writes is here. Hi friends. I only have time to pop in and hit like today. That's okay. I appreciate it. I hope you're still here to hear me say yay. If not, y'all should just check out Sarah and her channel. She's fun. She's also on Twitch, and is a lot of fun on Twitch. She mostly games on Twitch, but does do writing as well sometimes. But she's just fun in general. I love Sarah's dry snark humor, and she can throw down shade. She's like a queen of the shade. So Morgan made some breakfast during that sprint and folded laundry. Always good to be able to get some life progress done. Yeah, that's progress, Morgan. Password. Yeah, I want the password to being able to get progress done in my life. I want whatever that hack is. I'm not saying I don't, because I do. I get lots done. This is what I've gotten done, this week so far. It's not like I slack or anything. And that's just the shit I documented. Morgan said they figured it out. Okay, so the password issue must be something that she had going on. Okay.
She did, yeah.
Oh, cool. I must have missed that. But okay. There's my highly caffeinated water right there. It's super caffeinated. Yeah, so I'm hoping I'll be able to finish this up for my friend and get it to them in the next sprint. And then they'll be able to go over it, and see if they have any questions before they have to go, because they're going to court. So that's why they have a prepared statement. And it's so important that they get... I got to talk to everybody real quick. This is my little PSA.
Oh.
And I'm sure most people know about it, but I have a feeling all of my people here know about it. People are not entitled. Nobody is entitled to your comments, to your energy, to you responding to them. Do not ever feel like you are out of line or out of place for just being you and living your life the way you live it. So if you're a person who doesn't socialize in a typical manner or a neurotypical manner, or doesn't communicate in a neurotypical manner, do not feel like you need to adjust yourself for society. If you are not harming yourself and you are not harming anyone else, then you don't need to align with their values and their expectations. Okay, that's my little soapbox for the day, because that is what my friend is currently going through. They live in a very small community. They're finally living independently on their own, and they don't communicate and socialize in a typical neurotypical fashion. And so they are being harassed for doing so. They are being bullied, essentially, by people in their community for the fact that they tried to be social. They accepted social invitations, and they, you know, tried to be social in the neurotypical fashion. And the way they communicate just is not perceived well. And once you understand and know how this person communicates, they are the most lovable person on the face of the planet. But sometimes you have to disregard their tone in which they deliver a message, or their confused train of thought in which they deliver messages. But yeah, it's just one of those things. So if you're one of those individuals that struggles with this and you feel like you need to conform, you don't. You're not harming anybody, and just nobody, you don't owe anybody anything. Okay? That's my soapbox. I'm getting off of it now.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me soapbox a little bit.
Yeah.
So Morgan was saying that their husband was trying to figure out a password earlier this morning. Christina came up with up, down, right one, right two, triangle. That is the password. That is the password. Gamers have hacked that forever. You know, gamers hacked life a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are loved. They are valid. They're seen. They're perfect the way they are. Everyone else can suck a butt. They don't like it. I hope my friend is watching this morning. They know I have my stream on Fridays, and they know I was going to be working on this first thing for them this morning, so I really hope they're watching. But if not, I will definitely, Christina, convey they can suck a butt.
They can suck a butt.
That everybody else can suck a butt, because my friend is doing fine.
Doing
All right.
fine.
I see cards there.
So I love this deck. It's the Mage the Ascension Tarot, which is like out of print and like,
yeah, you can't get it anymore.
You can't get it anymore.
Well, you can if you run across it on eBay or something,
but you're gonna pay like through the nose for it.
And on top of that, what it comes like the energies that comes, so there's some serious cleansing going on with that deck once you get it.
Yeah. And it's designed specifically for coming up with chronicles and characters and storylines and stuff like that. So I'm gonna both try and come up with more meta plot for the chronicle and deep purple, purple and gold.
Those are the Mage the Ascension colors right there.
Yep.
That eggplant royal purple.
Yep.
It is pretty, and that's cool. I liked that when Mage came up with that for the game, because I thought, well, one, it was just very on brand, but also because it gave game masters a really good tool that wasn't just a here is the pre-generated thing. It allowed you to mix and match the bag a little bit, which I thought was fun. I love your kid. I love your kid. Bailey just looked me dead in the eye and took a huge bite out of a banana peel. Help. Help. Love it. Your kiddo is so much fun. And so wacky, beyond belief. Like, most kiddos are wacky, but yours, Bailey's,
she's a gem.
Yeah, they're just the bomb. All right, y'all. I think we should do another 25 minutes.
Sounds good.
I'm going to go back for just a second, and I'm going to grab another 25-minute timer by Laura. We used that one. So let's do the cute bats.
Bats.
Right, very wacky. I have no idea where she gets it from. No idea where Bailey get that from. She doesn't come by it honestly or anything. All right, so let's get 25 more minutes on the clock to sprint, starting in 3, 2, 1. Sprint, y'all! did you do? How did you do? Beepity beep. All right. So, I did pretty well. I did pretty well. Working on my project I was working on. Let's see. Just about 300 more words on what I was working on. So I'm up to like almost 800 words on this.
Nice.
Yeah. So Maya popped in. Hey Maya, good to see you. Hey Raven. Oh yeah. Oh, industrious ones. It's
Indeed.
necessity at this point. Yeah, to get Project Flambeau out. That's like every waking moment I have has kind of been dedicated to that, whether it's just like occasionally picking at it or it's like hardcore focus, like because I tend to pick at it during the day while I'm at the 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like I'll get like 3 lines read and like a couple of words put in, and then I have to change because like
Work.
work.
Yeah.
Because I get a phone call or something.
Right.
I suddenly have a ton of hiccups. I'm guessing I sucked in a bunch of air. They're not like the hiccups. They're the little hiccups you get when like when you eat too fast but don't get full blown hiccups. They're almost I don't know how to describe them. Just the ones that you can get rid of in a second if you just take a second.
Yeah.
To like breathe. Yeah. Not trip over your tongue kind of a thing. Barrett got 88 words, but reworked a few paragraphs in the flash piece. That's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm really moving along on this. It's going to take probably another sprint for me to finish it, but that's okay. That's okay. Debbie made headway in inking the final panel of the page. Cool.
Nice.
Morgan wrote some notes on their character chart. Awesome. Raven did laundry, picked up groceries to replace what went bad because their son left the refrigerator open last night. I'm officially out of productiveness. Yeah.
Oh my God, Raven, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I've never had that happen to me, but of course I've had like the power go out in the middle of the night and you wake up and everything's bad in the refrigerator, freezer, etc. So that just sucks. I have recently, no idea why I didn't do this before, started getting all of my groceries delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I still run to the grocery store like in the middle of the week and pick up little things if I need them or go get some fresh stuff if I need it.
Sure.
But I've started having like the bulk of all of them delivered, and why the hell did I never do this before? My grocery shopping takes me 10 minutes. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to deal with idiots. I don't know why I didn't do this before. I don't have to deal with traffic. I should have just done this all along. Yeah, anyway. Barrett dealing out some congratulations and some positivity. Yeah, it is that is pretty much a bummer. It's just terrible. When the power goes out, it's terrible. But that's when you. There are times as a parent when you just absolutely want to throttle your kid. I don't know if it was that bad of a response, but there are sometimes where you're just like. Maya's horror story of the morning is the person who walked their dog left a bag of dog poop on their kitchen table and only found it the next morning. What the hell? What? I'm flabbergasted. Why?
That is a statement and a half. Like, if you're leaving it on the kitchen table.
What? That's not even a... Like, okay, if you're carrying it into the house...
Trash.
But, I mean, I could see if you have to put it down or something because you have to get the door closed and your hands are full or something. But it doesn't go to the kitchen table. It doesn't make it all the way into the house to the kitchen table. There's shit you have to pass that you could put that down on that is not as disgusting as it being on the kitchen table, first of all.
Blech.
yeah, that, ugh. Yeah, and yeah, exactly, Barrett. It sounds like a writing prompt gone wrong. Maya, that is your cathartic measure of the day. Is that should totally be a piece of flash fiction or something, a little short story, piece of flash fiction, something, because that sounds like a writing prompt. Really does. And honestly, that's what I thought you were leading up to, was that it was a writing prompt, and then then my brain puzzled it out, and I was like, it was real life. Oh. Okay, so Raven says he goes to get an apple before bed pretty much every night, and he just happened to not notice that he didn't close the door all the way this time. It's a one-off, annoying, but okay. So it's not like my nephew, who routinely, frequently did boneheaded things that caused monetary issues, like nearly burning down the kitchen because he did not put water in his microwavable mac and cheese. So if you just put the cheese powder and the noodles in the little plastic container in the microwave and run it for the allotted time, it catches your microwave on fire and most of your cabinet. Although my sister did get a newly redecorated, remodeled kitchen out of that, so there was a pro that came out of it, but it was a pricey one. Yeah, just again, my brain goes back to
On
this
the
writing
porch.
prompt. Yeah, exactly. Okay, there is a dog poop trash can on the porch, and she knows it. It's not like this is her first rodeo with you. Same person kept their door unlocked after walking their dog 3 times.
So when you come home,
5 hours later, yeah, so much could have been done to your home. Stolen, it could have been vandalized. I'd be getting a new dog walker.
I'd be getting a new dog walker.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely a new dog walker. I like that. Help me, goddess. Help me. Yeah, sometimes you just need to ask the gods for patience and understanding. Yep, time for a new dog walker.
The poop should not enter the house.
Yeah, the poop should not enter the house. Most of us that have dogs have outdoor poop containers for a reason. I mean, even those of us with cats take out, like when we scoop the litter box, it goes out.
It goes out.
It goes out. It does not stay in the house. It might stay in the house overnight because they used it, depending on how often you scoop your litter box, how many animals you have. But yeah, I don't know. Hey, Spence, good to see you, lovely weirdo. Oh, Barrett, that's just, words right out of my mouth. That's shitty. In more ways than one.
Take that as you will.
Yeah. Oh, and Raven can't get delivery for anything. It's price to pay for living on a military post. That is true. That is true. So, yeah, they often won't offer, there's delivery services not offered. But also, no tax at the PX, which is kind of nice. That's not enough of a trade-off. I still want it delivered. It took me 10 minutes to get my groceries. Although she did screw up a couple of things, but honest mistake screw up. The packages look almost identical. So, I think it was just not being all that careful. But hopefully next time she won't screw it up. I'm sure he felt terrible that it was just an accident. And at least it wasn't, like you said, a too big of a deal. Raven. Well, now this dog walker's car gets to be the dog poop container. Oops, did I type that out loud? Yep. Raven, I like the way you think, says Barrett. Sit right down by me. We be friends.
We be friends.
I would pay her one more time to walk the dog so that
you can use the car.
So that I could put a bag of dog poop in her car. I would do it. And I'm petty like that. Oh, that sucks, Raven. You don't get any of the benefit. Can't shop at the PX or the commissary because you're a because you're a civilian living on post, not active duty or a retiree. I think that is the shittiest policy they have. Like, if you are working as a civilian for the government and you are living on post, now I'm not saying if you're living off post should you be able to go shop there, but you're living on post and working a government contracted job as a civilian, you should be able to shop on post and get the same benefits. Just saying. But what do I answer to her? That's weird. Do I get a copy of the key now? I haven't answered yet as I am debating. Why would she need
Why
a
would she
copy?
need a key?
She doesn't need a key to lock your house up after she leaves. Like, yeah,
Is
she
she
doesn't.
like leaving and coming back?
Yeah, does she come back multiple times a day? Because if that's the case, then if that's the case, then I could see her having a key for those purposes. But if she's only coming and walking the dog like midway through the day, just to let him out because bladder,
Hmm.
pay attention to him and bladder,
She
then
gets a key to getting fired. Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, yeah. That's weird. You need a new gig now. Yeah, she doesn't need a key to lock the house unless you have all deadbolts for some reason, which, all right, I mean, some people do have all deadbolts, but yeah, I don't get. Oh,
Get
you have
that.
a lockbox, but she wants a key copy for. No.
No,
And she only comes 1 to 2 times a week? No.
no.
She doesn't get a key for that. You have a key lockbox for that reason. She doesn't get to just keep a key. Nah, I'd be terminating that. Yeah, this is getting more single white female by the second. Definitely. She doesn't even go here! Love the Mean Girls reference. Wait, was this her passive aggressive way of demanding a key to your house? It might have been. It sounds like it, Raven.
The way it was worded, it did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this does. I mean, that's a safety issue, but that doesn't even address the whole dog poop bag
In
on
the
the kitchen
house, let
table.
alone on the kitchen table.
Yeah, in the home, let alone on the kitchen table. Yeah, she's done. Yeah, no key for her. No key for her. Exactly. Raven says, "Get bent, lady."
She
You
only
can find a
comes one to
kid
two
in your
times a week.
neighborhood. You can find a kid in your neighborhood that can walk your dog 1 to 2 days a week, probably for less money and probably with more responsibility than this woman has shown. No, no, mm-mm. I'm not telling you what to do, Maya, but
She also refused for online payment.
she wanted you to go to a bank 1 time a week and you managed to convince her to every 2 times a week
2 weeks.
every 2 weeks. Every
Every
two
two
weeks.
weeks.
Why would she refuse an online payment? It gets transferred to her bank. Well, it gets transferred to the online payment platform and then transferred to her bank. It's just Venmo. Come on. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, whatever. If she doesn't want to do fees, then Venmo. Ugh. Yeah. I say, Maya, it's time for a new dog walker.
I would be marking it at, that's what I was saying, like that's a hell of a statement that
Yeah.
you're making.
Barrett, I'm with you here. View putting a bag of dog shit on my table as a violent act. It is. That's an act of intimidation. That's an act of intimidation.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And in Canada, they have automatic bank deposit through email for all banks. She literally has to do nothing. There's
So
zero reason
what's the
then.
problem with direct deposit?
Yeah. There's zero reason. Yeah. Barrett's like, okay, she's Canadian and an act of intimidation. And
Of
Sako, why are you
course,
knowing?
Canadians would be passive aggressive, like
Yeah, I feel like if y'all are gonna be aggressive outside of hockey, it probably is gonna be done passive aggressively. Yeah, she's definitely a serial killer in waiting because Canadians are nice. Y'all aren't always nice, but you're almost always polite, which and respectful. Now I'm not saying there aren't idiots because there are, but um,
everywhere.
everywhere. But on a whole, Canadians are typically polite and respectful. I don't get it. Yeah, Barrett's like, because I couldn't deal with this tomfoolery. I'd be like, so here's how working for other humans works. I pay you, so I make the rules. You follow them. I'm going to add on, if you don't work for me and I don't pay you.
Hmm.
Holy moly, get some sage because that house needs a cleanse. Um, yeah, I would do a cleansing. I'd probably stay away from sage just because I tend to not use sage in my cleansings, but I do that because I have a lot of indigenous friends. Sage,
I use
especially,
incense.
I use incense a lot. Yeah, but sage has a lot of cultural significance
Hmm.
for use in practice in practicing, and only certain people in indigenous communities, shamans, are allowed to work with sage for those reasons. So once I learned that, I stopped using sage in my cleansings. I didn't know it for a long time
I don't
and
like
did
the
use it,
way
but
sage smells,
I know. Well, it's not.
personally.
I don't hate the way it smells, but there are so many more instances that I like the way they smell.
Yeah.
They smell better, and they, to me, last longer. The scent lasts a lot longer in the house, and I get the added aromatherapy.
Hmm.
You are very welcome. Yes. White sage, especially, is the particular one that is kept only for shamanic use and very restricted. But sage in general is very very valued culturally and spiritually for many indigenous communities. So once I learned, I was like, oh, now I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to appropriate, even though there's well documented.
The way that a lot of witches try to get around it is calling it recaning, because to to sage a house would be cultural appropriation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, exactly. So I like
Or
that though.
smudging.
Or smudging.
Smudging is specifically indigenous.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Yeah, I like that. This coven is my fave. We had you. The idiots in Canada really got drawn out of the woodwork by the asshole siren of the Drumphism. Been seeing a lot of them out protesting vaccine and masking requirements. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that venom drew out all of the other venom. Sage says that they use sage and rosemary because holy cow, do I love how they smell in the air. They do. That's a nice combination of a smell. Yeah, painfully.
rosemary, lavender, chamomile.
I'll take sage and rosemary from my pots and shove it in my bra. That's nice. The way it heats up with your body heat, I'm sure it is a nice soothing aroma all day. Federal election in 3 days in Canada. A lot of Canadian asshole supporters coming out this last month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. All right, let's go ahead and do.
Mm.
Yeah, we could squeeze in. We could squeeze in another 25-minute sprint,
Oh, okay.
I think, and just get it in there. But well, hold on. Let's see if she has like a 15-minuter. She only has a 10-minute one. That's rats.
Debbie, there is another way that you can cleanse your house by getting a cologne called Florida water. Really, it's flower water is the origin of the word, but Florida water, you can make your own. I take a bottle of Aristocrat vodka and some rose water and a bunch of flowers and let it steep for weeks, and then spray that stuff until it smells like home.
Yes. That's a very good alternative there. Okay. Lady I follow on Twitter has been documenting the nonsense in her town of
Kelowna.
Kaloa, I think is the name of the town, so that's where I've gotten a lot of my insight. Or maybe it was Kelowna.
Kelowna?
Kelowna was from Stargate SG-1. That was the name of a world. But it's something close to that. I'm not saying they didn't maybe take that name from Stargate. They could have. Or the Stargate took the name from the Canadian town. That's possible. It was filmed mostly in British Columbia, Canada, I believe.
Mm.
Or Vancouver, or I don't remember. Mostly filmed in Canada. That's all I remember.
Mm.
All right, so we're going to do 15. I am using a timer from HK Darkwood's channel. Not spooky themed, but it was also the quickest 15-minute timer I knew I had. So, okay. So let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, 15 sprint, y'all. Beepity beep, beepity beep, beepity beep. Alright. How'd everybody do? I know that one was really short and, and everything, but gotta do the 9 to 5 thing eventually.
Yeah.
Christina is still here. Laugh out loud. Very productive.
Yeah.
Raven did have to pop out. They were going to try to do something for lunch, try to be vaguely functional before energy reserves expire entirely.
Yeah.
I get that. Maya was staying in the province, which is the worst right now in Alberta, Canada. Their overcapacity in hospitals. All surgeries are canceled, and they think they will need to triage who lives and who dies in a week. Oh my goodness.
That sucks.
The one province has over 40% of all cases in Canada. The premier has even apologized for his stupid mistake and reopening everything and stopping testing and contact tracing.
Wow.
Yeah. The Wild Rose Party was taking hold there in 2013 and 14. Pretty extreme, similar to the Tea Party here in America. Felt very right wing and nativist. So I can believe that a good chunk of Alberta fell under that spell. Yeah. Raven says, I'm still on my couch and you scared the shit out of me. Spence ate some cheese and crackers in bed. Okay, Raven says they're getting up now.
Okay.
Barrett said the sprint went well, got close but not quite done. Gonna run and catch the flow. See ya. Yes, you two stay healthy. Love y'all. I didn't get finished. I'm hoping to get finished. I gotta get finished before 10 o'clock when my friend needs this so they can go over it and have some time to go over it. Which also then 15 minutes after that, I have to do the work thing. So, 10 o'clock my time. Yeah. I like that. Hi to everybody who came in that I didn't say hi to from Christina. So yeah, did get some stuff done. How about you, Sako? You got some more stuff done?
I'm starting a map of the chantry that they're gonna have access to.
Cool.
So that's apparently a thing.
So that's a thing I'm doing. Didn't really know I was gonna.
Yeah.
That's how that is often. Morgan's just I, according to her comment. I. I'm gonna guess it's a I did something during that sprint, but sometimes those days are just, you just have those days where you're just I. Yeah, I. Okay, yeah, so basically that is our stream for today, y'all, with the sprints. I hope everybody got done what they needed to get done, whether it was life stuff, whether it was nothing, or whether it was writing. So Morgan followed it up with, I'm trying to figure out magic abilities for this new character, but RK popped in, hey RK, and RK just says I.
J.
Christina just says J. RK
Element
says OP. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Very nice. And Spence says, that's me today. LOL. I'm here, I think. I think. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so that's pretty much the stream. Like I was saying, I am glad that folks were able to join and hang out with Sako and I this morning while we got some work done. Even though only Sako worked on Flambeau today, but that's okay because I'll get to work on it once I finish this project I'm working on for my friend. I was gonna say something. Oh, yes, something you said earlier about Mage the Ascension and character backgrounds and stuff like that. So, if y'all didn't know, last week I put out a video about character profiles and things of that nature. Those can be used in stories, but they can also be used for building your role-playing characters. So, go check out that video. This week's was how to turn your messy ideas that you have from your brainstorming and all that chaos and insanity and distill it down into a workable idea. Very, very important, and it leverages the week before's character profiles video. So, Morgan's like, what about Kay? Kay got left out. Kay got left out. You're right. Spence says it's been a day already, y'all. Yes, Spence. Same thing. I was telling Sako that first thing this morning. Like before we got on stream, I was like, it has already been a day.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the 9 to 5, but I have a feeling I'm gonna be handling some of those. How does my health insurance benefits work? Like with a little less hand holding and a little more tough love. Uh, Christina, the K is silent.
Yeah.
And on that note, weirdos, I think we are gonna end the stream today. I love y'all. I will see you next Tuesday and Thursday on my Twitch streams if you want to come hang out there. Sako will, of course, have her Monday night writing stream here on YouTube. I will have Friday, of course, morning here on YouTube as well. Feel free to come hang out with me. Check out Sako's socials down below and all of her stuff and her channel, especially that wonderful Marketing for Writers playlist that she has. You really should check it out and, do all that kind of stuff too. This is my Twitch stuff. If you want to know my Twitch stuff, come and see me there. Go and see Sako's art there. She will be arting today for the sake of eating today. So we will see you all later. Bye.